Okay, we are going to start drawing the flower or the shoe. It's whichever one that you choose, whichever one that you chose. I really like for you to draw this from observation instead of a photograph, but I realize that you can't take everything home. So you're going to take a photograph, whichever one that you've chosen. But you're going to start by doing a contour drawing. And again, a contour drawing is the outline, okay, or the unseen line between mass and space. This is the flower that I have chosen to do. I'm going to set this over here. I'm just going to kind of, hopefully you can see this. I'll zoom in a little bit. So I'm going to look at my flower, and the first thing, just to give me some sight and measurement lines so I know where to place it on my paper, I have an area here, I have a flower here, and I'm going to draw kind of heavy so you can see. And then I have my bow, which is going to be about right here. So those, I've kind of just sketched out some shapes, as you can see on my paper. Then I can come in and I can start with whatever it is that I want to start with. I'm going to start with the flower here. Okay, so I'm going to start, and I'm drawing each leaf one line at a time. The inside line, I'm sorry, these are petals, not leaves. This comes up and curves and comes back down. This one, it comes up in outside of the flower and curves up and over. And I see a little bit of ridge right there. Okay. And that goes right there. Then I have this big leaf, this big one right here. I don't know if you can see where I'm pointing at. It's kind of hard to see. This big one right here. It comes up from this side. And it's pretty large. Comes down like this, all the way into the center of my flower. And I have another petal that's folded over. It goes behind there. This one comes down. Now then, that's my basic. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in. I see some lines, some little texture lines I'm going to put in there. I don't see it on every one of them, of my petals, but I do on a few. So I'm going to put those in there. Now on this particular flower, I have these pistons that are in the middle, okay? Those little things that stick out. The easiest way to draw those is I'm going to start with the tip of them. And I'm going to draw the very tip of them because that's what's coming out at me. This is going to be like a foreshortening. So that is located right there. So I'm going to draw the tip of that. Draw the tip of this one. Draw the tip of this one. This one comes down here. And this is right here. Okay, so those are the tip of my pistons that I have. Then I'm going to draw and have them go down into the flower. And those are the stems that they're secured on. So I have some foreshortening going on there. Okay, so that's the inside of my flower. So now I'm going to come back and I am going to start with the stem. The stem comes out and I start drawing lightly. My apologies for not telling you this. This is just going to be a practice. You want to draw lightly, so if you have to erase, you can get that eraser out. Okay, that magic rub that I gave you, and you can use that. I have another stem that comes here, and it separates into two, so I want to make sure that I get that other stem that comes in here. Like this. Okay, I have a leaf right here that I want to draw in. That starts about right here, so it's going to branch off like this. And I just see the top of it. And we're gonna draw that a little bit more detailed later, especially when we get started with our shading. Then we'll be able to tell what's the difference between the flower, what's the difference between the leaf. Let's talk about the bow. The bow, okay, the easiest way to draw a bow is you start from the knot. So I'm going to start from the center of the knot, and I'm trying to draw all the wrinkles too. There's the center of my knot. Okay, that gives me a starting point right there. Then I'm going to come out and I'm going to draw this line for the bow. Okay, it comes out and almost runs off the paper, which is fine. So this comes up, around, and this way. Mine's going to come off the paper, and that's fine. And I'm going to come over here where the top of that goes. Okay, and I have the bottom of that bow. Now this bow's transparent, so I'm going to be drawing on top of some of my lines that are already there, which is fine. That's going to give me more detail to work with. Follow that line there. Now I'm going to draw this other bow that comes down. It comes all the way up in front of this leaf. It's pretty large. Okay, notice the size of it. You got to make sure that you're looking at things in comparison. How big is my bow compared to my flower? Where is the bottom of my bow compared to my flower? Where is the bottom of my bow compared to my stem? So these are all things that need to be thought about when you're drawing. And you might have to do 2 or 3 practice drawings in your sketchbook to get it where you want. And that is actually fine. It just takes practice. Okay, so there's my bow. Now what I want to do, I want to make that a little bit more detailed. My bow has stripes in it. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to put those textures in there. There's my stripe here. Now notice that the curve on each one of these stripes, the material is different. So everything's going to look not exactly perfect, okay? It looks like it's bending and curving. And I can also see underneath here. So this comes back, and I'm going to see, look at that, I can see some transparent material. I kind of got a hard one, don't I? Okay, so there's that one. I'm going to come over here to my straight edge over here. Put that one in there. Got some more on my bow, on my middle section here. And I'm going to put my stripes on this side. It's all about viewing the object. Now, I'm looking more at my flower than I am at my paper to make sure that I have everything placed correctly on my paper. There we go. That's this. Now, oops, don't want to forget my stem that's coming out here. So I'm going to draw my stem. Comes out, the edge. Now, I can also really put some texture and some patterns in here. Maybe I want to put the texture that I see on my stem. It's got some lines that look like a real stem there. Okay, so there's my flower. Okay, that's my outline, and you're going to practice that in your sketchbook until you get it to where you want it. And then we are going to get our 9 by 12 good drawing paper, and we'll start that. So there's your demonstration for the contour drawing of the flower or the shoe. Good luck.